Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field of Glory Empires in the Persia Sea as we're continuing our Sparta run. I think it's off to a pretty good start. We do have 3 provinces already going for us. We are getting a little bit of negative events from Persia and Athens and such. I think it's mostly coming up for Persia because Persia has made Athens a subject. So at some point we're going to want to go and just kick Persia over and over and over again. Maybe liberate Athens. Athens is our subject. We can liberate them. That'll probably be a good thing. I don't think they're going to attack us because we are, at this point, probably stronger than them. Which is kind of where we want to be. I mean Athens, not... Persia probably could attack us. I think Persia is still at war with Macedon, which is probably means this is a good time to actually go pick a fight with them. Macedon, Nubia, Scythia, Thracia, Egypt. Yeah, they're at war with lots of people. We're probably in a good place to start a war with them. Let's finish up a current war, and then we'll go and do that. Construction-wise, I think I basically did the end, did this turn during the end of last part, so we can just go ahead and cycle the turn here. Spartan army marches into siege. Oh, we just lost our skirmishers. They somehow pulled another fleet out of their butt to send our skirmishers to the bottom. Shame. We're gonna do one more skirmishers. They're proposing to settle peace. I assume you want to relinquish your objective on me. Counter proposal. Don't give me that resources. I don't even really care if you have a claim on me. Give me what you have. Become a client state? Or... Okay, no. Okay, we're just going to cancel. We're not going to take your deal. No deal. I can get more with victory than with this puny deal you're asking for me. Asking for me to give you. Check the treaty. Got them in siege. The siege may last a long time. How many walls do they have? 1 unbreached wall. Probably worth assaulting if they do lose that wall. Do have Art of Siege. Let me remember to use it this time. Our general died. Okay. Ooh, my general quality is starting to go down. We'll take the 1-0 here as a general. That will allow us to do the Art of the Siege, which we will do. Let's attempt to recruit those archers that I was trying to earlier. Well, that got sunk. Send our fleet out to deal with their fleet. No, actually, we're going to stay in port. Their fleet is decently strong for the moment. Ours isn't recovered enough. In the long run, we are going to want that physician house. So let's grab the physician house. This is one of those interesting scenarios where I want the hospital line temporarily. I may get rid of it later, but right now we want it. Aqueduct, because it has the percentile food bonus and the health bonus, is pretty good, so I think we will do the aqueduct. That'll give us the 6 health buildings. We'll then be looking to turn sanitation into sewers and build a physician house, hospital, and then the hospital unlocks the one of the Greek special buildings for health, which we want. Oh, we got 2 open slots here. Because we have 2 open slots, I'm going to go for the theater. That way we can be fishing for the Odon there. Odin. Take the wall upgrade as a reroll. Arguably you want the pleasure house, but it hasn't rolled yet. Okay. Move someone off food and onto construction. Get those constructions going just that little bit faster. Oh, and I can do a forage here. Well, let's do a forage to try to minimize the attrition we take. What units did I have at sea? Grecian Arch. Oh, I screwed up. That's a my bad. That's like 10 turns of recruiting there between the two sets of Grecian archers we lost. They had a move order to move to army, but then I didn't update that move order, so they were just sitting there waiting for a new order in the ocean where they were vulnerable. Had I given them a move order, it would have been fine. Okay. Now we're gonna see some ships. How's the regeneration of the fleet? A little bit of effectiveness penalty, but otherwise no hit penalties. How's their attrition looking? Really isn't, so we're not gonna send the fleet out yet. Siege will be quick. Wall is breached. Garrison is large and numerous. I'm just gonna wait for the roll. I think they'll just surrender. The Grecian archers continuing to replace themselves. I apparently need to queue up a bunch more. 5 more turns before they're actually fully queued up again. No luck with this forage. Another Pan-Hellenic Games. It's Pan-Hellenic Games, those guys. Yeah, well, we're not going to prospect. That's what I was thinking about potentially doing. We do have the ability to build something here. Probably go to the gymnasium for that health or that manpower bonus. Let's try to not have the region starve while we hold it. It'll calm down over time, but in the meantime, make it meet its food requirements. Let's go sanitation here. We are going to want to upgrade that into the sewer at some point. Ooh, some pop growth there has given us another building slot. Slavers is still a weapon depot, so I suppose we should build up the... Oh, there's the weapon depot. So we'll build the weapon depot, and hopefully that'll make the slavers go away at some point. Get the rest of the malices away. So there. We're under the siege. Fleet hasn't recovered, but we could send the fleet out again, I suppose. If we were desperate. We're not that desperate. Cycle the turn. See if the siege ends. Siege ends, then we can start bringing our guys back. Do a little bit of reorg with the Cretians. Okay, they're sallying to try to save the last effort attempt to save the fort, which is not going to work. So it falls... Oh no, they didn't... Oh, they did recruit local, I think. I think it still bought the fort a turn. Yeah, I'm still not interested in negotiating with them. Proposing peace. The fort's expected to fall quickly. The garrison is, at this point, starting to see... starting to starve, so we can order in the assault, and they should either collapse due to the assault going in, or archers going in. Ooh. Sewers versus public roads. The sewers is actually going to save us a slot, so I'm going to take it instead of the roads today. It does require lead. We don't actually have a source of lead. Hopefully we'll get one at some point, but the sewer is saving us a building slot is worth taking the lead hit. I think we'll do a re-roll here. We're looking for... Oh, that was what I forgot to check over the tea break. No, we're looking for the servers. We got Stoa and Physician House. It's really the two I'm looking for. We take the aqueduct as well. I suppose we're doing that. Oh no, we're still working the large rolls, so we'll let the guys be assigned to the large rolls. And then working on that weapon depot. New bonds of friendship, Confederate barbarians. What's your opinion up to 24? What's it likely to be a bit higher? Not gonna go around with setting up money yet. We got positive manpower, we got positive metal, and decently positive income. Cycle the turn. And either the assault will go in and finish it, or they'll surrender. They surrendered. Would like to do the Emporium if we had, but we don't have the Academy. We don't have a level 1 Academy yet. I think that's what the Preceptor House... Well, it might actually be... It requires an Academy and not the Preceptor House chain. Oh, he's going to take 2 turns there to get there, but we can do that. That was their last province, so they've actually been removed from the game. Okay, that's building. Don't need as many guys on food, so we can get a little bit more construction there. Got a little bit of a loyalty problem that should clear in a couple turns. Yeah, that'll clear. It should clear in a turn, actually. So if they don't get another bad event in a turn, they'll be fine. They're a little bit harder to do. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay. You're good. Let's... The fleet at this point has regenerated. Let's go ahead and push the fleet to Crete. Ionia. Let's push it to Ionia. I am thinking about doing something against Persia after we finish the transition over to the new slinger, or over to the new archers. I think we're gonna do the reroll here. I would take the farm. The farm popped up. Would take Salt House or Smokehouse if those popped up. Would take Public Road if it came up. Apparently, coast. Well, a lot of the commerce buildings require population. We got 1 person here, so we don't have enough people. That's why stuff isn't popping up. Would take the Oration Tribune or the Street Polar if they popped up. So yeah, we're just re-roll here. Sewer should be next turn. To be completed next turn, I mean. That's not the health building we want here. We want the Aqueduct Division House. So we'll do a reroll to try to find those. Again, we'll leave it on food because that's enough construction to finish that job. Then you'll have quite a few building slots. How big is that territory? That's 6 large. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go to war with Rome to get that one as a province. And that is Rome. I'm not sure how great of an idea it would be to go to war with Rome while we got Persia on the east to deal with. Sparta being allied with Terentium have also declared upon up. So I think that is Rome has just declared on our friend here. Take the training ground. We'll turn the fleet around. Let's go ahead and land there. Turn you. You're going to take 2 turns, but we'll still send you. Oh, you can land this turn. So we want to go protect our friend. Let's send all our stuff over to do that. And then we'll go pick on Rome a bit. Rome has some somewhat valuable stuff, so it's a bit of a distraction from what should be my grand plan, but it's fine. We don't have access to the Stoa here. We still probably want the commerce part the most. Building Craft District is going to make the pool of commerce buildings much bigger, so we're going to pass on it for the moment. We don't really want a cult site. We either want the... We want a special... Actually, no, we're too big for the special one here, so if I want tier 2 cult sites, then we need to build the cult site, which is kind of what we do want. Yeah. We're technically in health, we're fishing for the vision house. So anything that's basically reroll works. So we'll do cult site. Lots of open slots here. We don't have access to silk. This one isn't good enough that I don't want to... I'm not going to pay the 20 when I keep 4 just an amphitheater upgrade. No. I should import the wool. Is it you that needed the wool? Yeah. So this would... It's not showing it here, but this should technically be giving us 2 more food if we try to do this. You know, that's actually a good enough argument. We're gonna go grab that for the food. And then you've got 2 slots, so we should build something here. A little bit of a stretch grabbing that bank. Because at some point we're gonna go to war with Macedonia, and then we'll lose the gold income, and gold's real expensive to import from the void. It's gold after all. Oh, Pleasure House. That is what we need for the religious gold, so we'll grab the Pleasure House. But apparently I don't need that much on construction. So it's like 30 we can free. Yeah. Food-wise, you're building. You're probably also overbuilt as well. Probably don't need that much on you. We've got enough stored up in stockpile. I could just swap everything over to food if I needed to, or if I wanted to, so we'll do that. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. We're in the diplomacy screen, which is not what I want. This screen. Growth in 3 to growth in 2. Oh, and I probably want a little bit, so there we go. Do want to still be food positive, or infrastructure positive. We don't want anything breaking on us. That will finish. Yep. I don't think I got any good decisions. Could do some prospecting for resources, and we might do that if we end up taking the mountain from Rome, because that would be a good place to prospect. That'd be an alternative location to get gold from. So we get gold in the mountains. Okay, I think we've got assignments for everything, so we press the go turn and everything moves. Worst case scenario, the Cretan archers will be intercepted again. Lyrica, supporting Rome against us. Lydia. Lyrica. Actually sure where Lyrica is. Illyria, that would actually make sense to be Illyrica. Illyria, okay, there they are. So they became a protectorate, presumably, and that's why they're now at war with us. Okay. Our main combat army should go ahead and engage those guys. We're going to leave the elephants here on the defense. In the open terrain that is our friend. We'll go ahead and push the Spartan Legion after the Roman one to leave our fort. We have ports on both sides. I think we'll go ahead and press up the fort on the left side. Cretan archers should land next turn. Let's give them an order to land where our army will be. So that way we can do an easier merge. Lots of building slots. There we go. So that's the reason we want to be building cult site buildings everywhere. So this is another one of the Hellenic world specific buildings. This one requires a temple. It says a temple. I think it's technically a cult site. You need at least a cult site in the place. And I think it can be any of them. It says it requires a temple. I think technically you can get it from a cult site as well. Temple line building is what you need. Has no drawbacks other than a little bit of infrastructure upkeep. You do need that temple to build it. It is a tier... Oh, this one's actually tier... Oh yeah, tier 2 culture building. Provides half a legacy point. And if you've got the things for it, like the stone, the marble, the tools, 35 culture. Definitely building that. We'll start working towards the health buildings of the clear water. We only have coral. The furs and amber maybe, but no, we're gonna pass on that. I think we're gonna hit a reroll here. What we're probably looking for is the Oration Tribune, or the Preceptor House, or the Temple, or the theater. We've got the Temple building. For the culture buildings. So we'll hit a reroll here. We do need to be a little bit careful. We don't want the loyalty to go below 50. That's going to be something we're going to run into quite easily here as Sparta. Because we are going to get lots of slaves. 2 open building slots here. We don't have walls here. Does make it tempt to put a strap it on here. Yeah, let's grab the Chapadon here. Would be better with weapons, but once we have this down, then there's actually an argument for building the weapons in the place as well. Weapons are a little hard to import if memory serves. Let's see, I've got weapons somewhere. There we go. What needs weapons? Army Prisoner, Urban Guard, Military School. Not Military Academy. Okay, so I think military school needs weapons, but I think you technically need weapons there to build the military school. It's a little bit complicated like that. We could always need it with gladiator school, I suppose. And the army prisoner is not that hard. Yeah. Okay. So we could definitely get the weapons over there if we want them there later. get the strapping on extra productive. We now have that pleasure house for the religious cults. That will get cleared. Major harbor. They're already importing that that hemp, so that's not really an extra cost. I think technically this building provides manpower. It might be one of those where it's rounding down because of the minus 75 that we have as Sparta. Okay, the harbor probably wants a little bit more construction, so we'll go ahead and put what we can on building instead of farming. And then over here we got stuff to building, yeah. Everything's going well. Army's moving. Christian archers are arriving. Persians continue to be Persians. Would ideally want to be in the attack, but we do have a small Spartan army here, or a small Roman army here. They'll probably, now that they see us here, are probably going to go run for the hills. But just in case they don't, we'll go relieve our siege. We'll go ahead and put a commander in the garrison as well. We're manpower negative, which isn't great. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Yes, the Romans back off. That was what I was expecting. They don't back off quickly enough, so we catch some of them. Skirmish begins. Very exhausted Romans going up against, granted, not perfectly prepared Spartan hoplites, but we're still unstoppable, experienced murder machines, apparently, in comparison to them. So these poor Italian foot provincial troops are just going to have a bad day. Splat, 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 and splat. Oh, Persia has more culture than us. That's gonna become a problem. That probably means they're generating culture faster than us. Or not culture, legacy. They have more legacy than us. You're proposing a trade deal. View the clauses. You give up a thing, I give you some grations. You give us metal, you give us money. Yeah, I'm on board with that. You can have some javeliniers. Merge the archers in. I probably only need 8 skirmishers in the back line. So let's actually, to reduce our upkeep, or our food requirements on the march here, we're going to send most of the spare troops. Actually, I'll keep the bear donkey. We want them for siege. We'll send most of the shield bearers off in their own stack. And then we'll send this stack to actually go reinforce the elephants. The elephants get some backup. Oh, do I? I have 7 hoplites. That's what's going on. Like, why is the stack odd numbered? And the answer is because you have some hoplites. There's no walls there, is there? There's a garrison, but there's no walls. Okay. So we'll go marching in there. We'll take that location over. I could even potentially go up the mountain. We'd be taking a little bit of a risk if we engaged them in the mountains. But we're going to have to go in the mountains at some point anyway. Yeah, okay. Oh, and that's going to be a 2-turn move anyway. I could move into the mountains and attack, or I can move and take this plains and attack. But we'll do the plains and attack. Oh, both of these are plains. You are walled. Numerous cliffs. We could get rid of that with prospect resources. Ah, that's where the... Oh, you got 2 levels of walls. So yeah, we'll probably hit you last. Whereas this place isn't walled. The Municipum is the upgrade of the Colonia, but has no walls because they've outgrown their walls. It's a good way to think about it. 2 slots here. Visitors house. Definitely the visitors house. That'll combo with some other stuff we want. Granary. Yeah, I don't know if we got a way to import grain, but we'll still go ahead and do the granary here. This because it'll combo well off of the irrigation canal. Port upgrade. Actually, surprise. Oh, because we don't have we basically have no construction production at the moment. Let's fix that. We were coasting off of the stockpiled construction or stockpiled infrastructure. Oh, actually, if I'm not going to put all of them on construction, that's probably the place we want to leave on food because of the percentile modifier. Got the harbor down to 2. We'll just accept it's going to take at least 2. Another one of these. Yeah. 18 more culture. This place, we don't have the marble, stone, and tools. We'll work on that, but the legacy by itself is good enough, so we'll grab it. When that is an option, we'll grab that option. Okay, and I've got the Cretians that I want. It might be worth contemplating building a second army, or, well, building an army around the elephants. How terrible would it be to get a few more Spartan hoplites? We'll wait for a couple turns. Wait until we have like a 2,000, 3,000 to buy some more hoplites. What we'll do is build an army around the elephants for fighting in plains. Like, here's a plain, there's a plain. There are a couple places where we'll benefit from the plains. And the elephants make a nice middle line holding unit plain battle. They're absolutely horrendous in like hills and forests, or swamps and forests and that sort of stuff. But Sparta versus Rome, so our fleet is going to have an easy time. We may lose a ship here. No. Almost lost the ship. We're attacking. This is open terrain, but it's mostly against light troops. A couple of skirmishers in here. Otherwise, it's just urban militia. So yeah, this is a bad day for the urban militia and the skirmishers. They got a min roll of 1. They got a base roll of 1 versus our min roll of 6. So it doesn't matter how many dice rolls they get; they're not winning the dice rolls. Just splats across the board. Illyrica going up against the elephants. Three, 5. We don't have the unstoppableness for the elephants here. Actually, somewhat surprised the elephants aren't getting... So the elephants are really meant for attacking, not for defending. Oof, lost some of the elephants already. So, if it wasn't for the elephants, we would have probably lost that battle, so we've just destroyed most of an enemy army for the cost of an elephant and some skirmishers. Elephants would have probably benefited from having some better support than the old helots. Rome is settling peace. You started this war and you're already willing to peace out? You want to give us money. We're going to counter-propose. We're not down for money. Can I have the bit I occupy already? No, they're not on board with that. Can we offer this? We could offer it. They're going to say no. Let's propose it. They're probably going to say no. But if we take it, then they're going to have a harder time saying no. We're going to order the assault. They got one guy in the fort. We got a garrison here, technically. 4 units. 4 looks like light units. So the fact that they got some urban militia in a level 1 fort probably isn't going to be a problem for the Spartan Hoplites to storm. Okay, so this is going to be an expensive building. Drugs and herbs aren't found in many places on the map. So this is going to be expensive to have. It's not really very powerful hospital from a health standpoint, right? So we're jumping from 10 to 16 here, so it's basically plus 6 upgrading. It doesn't take another slot. It's basically a neutral slot upgrade. We're going to do this anyway because of the buildings this unlocks. Normally, for every nation, this unlocks a great hospital. For us, it's also the requirement for one of the Greek buildings. We don't actually need to keep the hospital after we get the Greek building. So I may actually get rid of the hospital later after we get rid of the Greek building, but for now, we'll build the hospital. We have enough construction to finish that. The hospital is probably the most expensive thing. Yeah, we need the whole construction we have to finish the hospital. Okay. Major harbor will finish. One of those will actually finish. That's good to see. Can I get you into port? Yeah, so we'll do a quick dash across the water so the Romans don't have time to respond. We have decent supply here. Let's go blockade the Roman port. Oh, it doesn't look like any of these are really tempting. Go ahead and cycle the turn. The Romans won't respond this upcoming turn. They may respond the next turn, and they're a little bit more likely to accept if we have the things we ask, or occupy the things we're asking for. Skirmish, archers fire, get a decent amount of exhaustion off. 9 versus 6 would be a little bit of a hard sell, but we got a min roll of 6, so yeah, this is a bad day for the garrison. Oh, that's a big Roman army. 48 guys. Okay, that'll be a little bit of an ask. We'll see if that works. We may be about to lose the entire army going up against that giant death stack that the Romans got there. We'll see. Public Works. You have one. And that's the building we're looking for. Asclepionn, a rare medical temple of the Hellenic world, acts as an extension to the hospital, doesn't replace it. But by following the learnings of the Hippocrate, Greek, the local doctors will further help develop science in the long term. So you'll notice +1 legacy. Okay, 13 money and 4 infrastructure for 1 legacy is not bad. We'd pay that. It'd be even more if we didn't have tools to import. We got the tools to import, so let's move the tools around. It's also a faction-wide 3% health bonus. And this is not a national wonder. This is a building you can build as many times as you want, as long as you meet the prerequisites. So this is one of the buildings we're going to be fishing for. We want to build lots of those. Smokehouse, yeah. And it's arguably a building that is... And in fact, actually, that's almost entirely the reason we built a hospital. Was so that we could have the prerequisites to build that building. I may, literally after building that building, tear the hospital down later. Because we'll need the hospital a whole lot less after that. Especially if we build up a couple of those, right? 3% global. Okay, so after this is built, we'll be up at 60. I forget if the max is 65 or 75. We'll see after this is done. I think it might actually be 65 for health. Which, as you can see there, 65 health is running a food cost discount. So it's 239 a food cost discount. But we're basically going to be fishing for these. Once we've got these, we can come in and start to delete things we don't need. Like, we probably don't need the hospital if we've got the bonus behind the hospital. We may go delete the gymnasium. Well, if we keep the gymnasium, we're going to be keeping it for the manpower, not keeping it for the health sort of thing. And so on and so forth. Open slot there. And that's one of the reasons why we might be fishing for things like the physician house here. We got all the health buildings we want, except for the physician house. Yeah, we'll go ahead and import that papyrus. Oh, and the religious cult's gone. That's good to see. So the weapon deep will finish. There'll be 2% turn to clear that. Okay. Okay, this will be a tough ask, but we're just going to have you dash right over there. Hopefully you get there before the Doomstack arrives. Otherwise we might be sending you a True Doom. We may be sending you True Doom anyway if you can even get there before them, but we'll see. Okay, send you around like that. We're going to see how the Roman Doomstack moves. Fleet, engage fleet. An exhausted warship up against lots. Well, they're one of their exhausted warships against our warships. So we win the naval battle. Oh, and the large Roman army tries to dodge. It doesn't go where I'm thinking it's going, but that's okay. Skirmish. This will either go badly for us or really well. We are... Apparently we're classed as the defender here. The Romans managed to get the defending... or get the attacking spot. We do have a much better minimum roll, but we only got one roll. They got a lower roll, so they're going to be a little bit more reliant on rolling. Won that battle, lost a hoplite. Won that one. Stalemate, but that was a scenario where we lost a hoplite. And we lost. No losses in the defeat, but we still took pretty heavy losses. And our army probably retreated the worst possible direction by retreating back into the mountains. And Polidoki, 6v5, 8v5, 8v3. Okay, so they're not particularly good in the mountains either. So a little bit back and forth there. We both take a lot of damage. Disperse some slaves. Can you do a move that looks like that? It's going to take you a little bit longer to get to where you're going. Oh, you did lose your general. Or 2-0. Let's go to 2-0. Let's hopefully see if our army can escape from the predicament it's in. Let's don't assault. Merge these two armies for the moment. How's the state of our armies? What do we need to replace? So we still got our skirmishing component. We've lost 2 hoplites and lost 2 of our cav. I'd like those replaced. So we get the cav from here. Quickly grab 2 cav. And we'll recruit 2 hoplites. Rome felt it was not in their best interest. That's fair. When I offered it, I did not see the doom stack. Okay, so they're not willing to surrender right now. We own some of their objectives. Final peace is currently 12. Okay, so they're just not willing to accept peace. Probably because they did whatever they did to get their army. So we'll just back out of this for the moment. Okay. Monument for some more culture. Finish that, so that should eventually clear the slavers. If you had a source of leather to trade, we'd probably go the leather there. You know, given the circumstance, I'm going to go for the reroll. That's fine, that's fine. This is somewhat overcome, so onto food. Growth is apparently what we're looking for there. 29 more to move. So that's all the growth we can get. And still maintain everything. How much construction do you need to finish? I'm not going to futz with it too much. That's about right. Could be a little bit closer to the right amount, but... Oh, and I've been forgetting I should be making this into a province. We'll go with this place being the province capital. We'll see if it holds, honestly. Decent possibility it's not going to hold. Because if the Romans take back the hill place, then we lose the province. But lead mine is pretty good. Beneficial thing to build. Okay, that's all fine. Okay, nothing I see that I want to do here right now. Oh, that's the Roman fleet. So where we have a fleet and fleet engagement that we're not necessarily going to win, let's go and send our fleet to port. Okay, so we can hand the Paradoki off. Oh, none of the Paradoki survived from, or not Paradoki, the Shield Bearer survived. Waiting for the hoplites. Do I want to recruit some skirmishers to go with skirmishers and Spartan hoplites to go with the elephants? Let's say yes. Oh, I wasn't expecting to be so short on... Well, hoplites are, you know, expensive. That's fair. So yeah, we'll still leave those in the queue. We'll move them over here and grab these type instead. Can we get 8? Still have them delivered next turn? Yeah. No, because we don't have the manpower. Okay. Okay, let's back down a little bit on our rapid recruiting there. Apparently I don't have the men to go with that. Didn't realize how small my manpower pool was. That's fair. Okay, we'll cycle the turn here. Actually, no, we'll hold off on cycling the turn. This is where I'm going to put the part breaking, because 50 minutes have already snuck up on me. Trying to keep you to 30-40 minutes. The TM, we're going to, the trademarked, we're going to do 30-40 minutes and do 50. So if you're watching YouTube, there'll be a part up tomorrow, because this run's working. We're getting distracted. We're definitely getting distracted. I should be taking more of Macedonia. I should be taking Persia, and we're off fighting Rome. Kind of going the wrong way. We should be going east, we're going west. We'll try to fix that in the next part. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, that'll be put up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to mute the mic, sip about half a cup of tea, and get right back to recording. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.